If you ever go down Trinidad, they make you feel so very glad. Calypso, sing and make up rhyme, guarantee you a real good fine time. Drinking rum and Coca-Cola.
So tell me, just from the start, who are the Nylon Hearts and how did you guys get together?
The Nylon Hearts are we're a vintage style sort of all-female harmony trio, and we like to kind of emulate some of the iconic sweethearts of the past era. So we sing things like from the era of Doris Day and primarily people like the Andrews sisters, so we're trying to make it sort of a modernised version of that really.
Where have you guys been performing and how has it been going for you?
It's just been an amazing roller coaster. We formed just over a year ago, and from then, from doing little vintage charity tea affairs and little parties, it's just gone majorly huge from there onwards really. We've had requests for all kinds of things. We've performed in like theatres in front of hundreds of people. We've performed in Chester in front of thousands of people, sort of in the town centre.
We've festival, wasn't it, this summer?
So it's kind of rocketed out of nowhere, and that's just been from the interest and the audience's response to the kind of music and the kind of glitz and glamour that we're bringing back from the olden days really.
Old as girls grow old, and we all lose our charms in the end. The square cut or pear shape, these rhymes.
Because this image is quite contemporary now. It's just a lot of people are really into this as well. So you guys buying into that quite in a massive way now as well.
I think we all kind of...
We all did anyway, didn't we, really?
Dressed this way, and this was our style. Before, it's not like we've had to make a real transformation to go from what we looked like originally to this. I think we were quite into that look anyway, so it just seemed to fit really well for us.
Yeah, it came quite naturally, didn't it? We just obviously uniform it a bit better to make sure we're all matching and things like that, but otherwise we all tend to like this style and individually anyway, didn't we?
So even saying that as well, does that mean the music came naturally to you? Is that kind of music that you grew up with? Were your parents listening to that quite a lot, and was that the kind of music you loved yourselves as well anyway?
I've always loved all the old-fashioned female singers. I really love my old films as well, so anything like that where the women's voices were beautiful tones and there were really, really sexy women, females, and I just loved it since I was a small child, so that's why I like it.
And what are your influences then, and how have you sort of put any kind of modern twist on it?
I think we do go for the Marilyn, the Betty Page kind of look and sound, and I just think a few of our songs we brought like a modern day song and give it a spin on it. So for example, we do a version of Material Girl, which is a classic 80s.
Right.
Obviously we all grew up in the 80s, but we've turned it into a swing song, which again, it's different from the vintage song because it's swing, but I just think you can, there's room for it in there. Yeah.
To the end, he was more than a friend to me.
God is making me hazy.
I think I better sit down. Play the sweet serenade, and he knows it's got to made with me. Twisting round on a carousel, this beat's too much to stop. 1 second I'm thinking I feel the lust, then I feel a lot. Ooh, that man is like a flame, and ooh, that man treats me like a game. My only sin is I can't win. Ooh, I wanna love that man. Ooh, that man.
So what are the big things you guys have lined up for next year then? What are we expecting from the Nylon Hearts in 2014?
I think this year has all been about sort of asserting our identity and kind of building up an audience of who will follow the Nylon Hearts, and it's been really hilarious. Sometimes we've gone to gigs and we've been, it's the Nylon Hearts, and it's like, oh wow, you kind of feel semi-famous, and there's an element of, you really enjoy it, and it's fantastic. And I think this year has all been about getting to grips with what we can do musically, what we enjoy and what works for us, because the bigger picture moving forward is perhaps that we all have sort of different talents, and I think maybe writing our own material is a way that we will move forward with next year. We have kind of things in the pipeline, and songs of a kind of jazz pop kind of genre, really. Because we obviously, you have acts like the Papini Sisters that were around maybe a decade ago, and they did really well on the swing side of things, but we're just a little bit different in that we can sort of mould songs in our own way and also come up with original twists on older stuff too. So next year we've got loads of things lined up. We've got quite a few corporate gigs, kind of big corporate gigs, couple of theatre performances, and we really need to just try and get our name out there, which this will obviously help us to do too, and kind of just build our audience even more. I said